So leveling up the Battle Pass in Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone can be a really long and boring journey, but in this video I'm going to show you how to make it as quick and as easy as possible for the second season of Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone. Now this video provides every single way to level up tiers faster in Season 2 of Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone, so be sure to stay tuned until the end of the video as it's packed full of tips, but if you do want to jump to a specific part of the video, there are timestamps in the description, so let's jump straight into it. Now the Battle Pass works slightly differently from previous games. It's not a linear Battle Pass like in previous games. Instead you've got 21 zones with different rewards. There's about 5 rewards in each one, so there's 105 items in total, and you have to complete one region at a time and then progress to an adjacent region until you complete every sector. So instead of like a direct Battle Pass progression, you slowly earn Battle Pass tokens which you can redeem for one reward at a time, and redeeming 5 in one sector means that sector's complete and you can only unlock sectors that are adjacent to another sector, but there are multiple routes to get around it, so you don't necessarily have to unlock all the stuff. If there's a certain area with rubbish rewards, you can leave that one and come back to it last. Now the Battle Pass content is linked between Warzone 2, Battle Royale, DMZ and Modern Warfare 2, so those are the games you can play any of those, and that will help you level up your Battle Pass, and that will give you rewards you can use in all of those modes. So first let's talk about the best ways to level up the Battle Pass in Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone, and then we'll talk about which modes are best overall. So for Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, as with other modes, the most important factor is your time played. I'm sure most of you know that by now. So the longer matches means they're more efficient because you're spending more time in the game playing the game, less time in the lobby or waiting for the match to load, and less time backing in and out of games and so on. So longer matches is more efficient and it's better for you and your time. Now longer matches are ones obviously like domination, hardpoint, ground war, invasion, those kind of longer modes, but obviously as well as this you need to be getting a lot of XP, so you need to be going for modes that are longer and modes where you've got lots of XP and modes with a high XP yield as well. As well as the time played, let's talk about the XP earned. Now currently Shoot House and Shipment are great mosh pits right now in the game, but they might not be out when Season 2 launches. That normally happens where it kind of goes away for a bit. If that's the case and there's no good 24/7 matches or mosh pits, play longer games with objectives and high XP ones like domination, hardpoint, ground war, that kind of thing. I imagine they'll probably bring out a new map, a mosh pit, so like Dome is a new map coming out, so it'll probably be like Dome 24/7. That will probably be quite good. Not as good as Shipment, but it'll still be quite good I imagine, but we'll have to see. Also they're bringing hardcore now, not just the rubbish tier 1 mode, full on hardcore, so hopefully there'll be good mosh pits of hardcore modes such as Shipment or Dome or something like that, but we'll have to see. So hardcore's really good because you get more kills, and also the class is an important consideration. A lot of people kind of overlook that, so we'll talk about that now. You want to equip the decoy grenade and use them every time you spawn in, because if an enemy nearby to it dies, you get XP and an assist, and this can give you several thousand extra XP at the end of the game just by using them, so really important. The other thing is lethals. Lethals actually give you XP, obviously both towards your weapon but also your character progression and also the battle pass as well, so it's really important in multiple ways. And lethals you want to use that are quite good are things like Semtex, as you can throw them quite easily and they stick to surfaces, thermite grenades, C4, that kind of thing, although I find C4 really annoying because they've nerfed it a while ago, so the distance is not very good, so something like a Semtex is probably better. Field upgrades, you're going to want something like a portable radar, smoke airdrop, suppression mine, that kind of thing. To be honest with you, one that I find quick and easy to use is the DDoS, just because it gives you a decent amount of XP. You can activate it really quickly while you're using a weapon, so it's just really good. I would go for something like that. Even though it does get you slightly less XP than other methods, you still earn it more often, so it's probably worthwhile overall. But use whatever field upgrade you want, and ideally you want to go on the score streaks section and toggle it from kill streaks to score streaks, and I'd put on ones like UAV, counter UAV, and then a cruise missile or sentry or SAE or VTOL, something like that. Just put on a couple like that, ones that will help you get kills and find enemies, that kind of thing. And like I said, ideally score streaks, not kill streaks, because that way it will take into account tags, points from doing the objective rather than just kills, so I would definitely switch if you can. So that's the class setup. Now what kind of tips would I recommend for multiplayer? Well, the first thing is you obviously want a good class, and you need to level your weapons to a decent level to get those attachments, and also to lock other weapons as well in the progression tree. So if you guys need help with leveling up weapons, check out my Season 2 Weapon XP guide, it should help with that. But there's tons of good classes, I'll have some as well for Season 2, but yeah, definitely make sure you've got a good class on, that will definitely help. You also want to make sure that you're using the kill streaks, equipment and field upgrades, so obviously use yours to get XP, but also you want to be destroying other people's kill streaks, equipment and field upgrades with whatever method you can, whether you put on a launcher, whether you shoot it down with your weapon, whether you use lethal equipment, whatever you can use something to take down those things, as that will get you XP as well, and this will all add up for a bigger bonus at the end. You also obviously want to go for the objective as much as you can. You really want to push. So if it's domination, go to the dom points. If it's kill confirmed, pick up tags and so on. You really want to do the objective, as this is a big bulk of your XP, and the more XP you get, the bigger the bonus at the end, and therefore the faster you earn those battle pass tokens, and therefore the quicker you can level up your battle pass. So you really want to be doing the objective as much as you can, and obviously getting as many kills as well as possible. Now a big thing that people sometimes overlook is challenges as well. So for multiplayer you've got the daily challenges. They're the only main kind of one in the game right now. You get 3 a day plus a bonus challenge. They're normally fairly pretty easy. That can easily get you quite a few thousand XP just from doing very little. Normally it's something like use a weapon, get X number of kills with a certain attachment or a piece of equipment or something like that. It's normally quite easy. Also, the camo challenges, so make sure you're going for those. They're very easy in this game, so make sure you're going for the gold, the platinum, the polyatomic and the Orion camos. Go for those, they're quite easy. If you need help with that, I've got a playlist, so feel free to check out the card on screen with many camo guides and gold gun guides. Also, you want to be overlapping the challenges as much as possible. So for example, if there's a daily challenge that says get a certain number of kills with an assault rifle and you've got to complete a camo challenge as well or something like that, make sure you're kind of overlapping them and that will get you more XP. Okay, so that's it for multiplayer. What about other modes? So next we're going to talk about co-op, then Warzone and DMZ, and then we'll talk about the best mode overall. So for co-op, missions like Defender Mount Zaya, Low Profile, High Ground, etc. are good, but the Battle Pass earn rate is variable. So before, when I played like a 24-ish minute game, I earned about 50 to 60% of a Battle Pass token, meaning it would take me about 40 minutes per tier or per Battle Pass token. That is quite a lot, to be honest with you. I recommend trying to complete the match if you are going to do co-op as quickly as possible so that your XP earned, which is roughly a set amount, is higher per minute played and therefore a faster XP earn rate and more Battle Pass progression. So it's not about doing excellent in the mission, you just want to get through it as quickly as possible. So my tips, you obviously want to cooperate with teammates, resupply on ammo regularly, pick up good floor loot, buy kill streaks, so for example the cruise missile, sentry turret, and buy reinforcement troops, armor boxes, etc. And you want to take cover when needed and go for the objective. So for example in Mount Zaya, you want to defend each zone as best you can and wipe out enemies quickly to prevent getting overrun. Yeah, that's kind of really all I say for co-op. Fairly self-explanatory, just stick with some teammates, get through it and you'll be fine as quickly as possible, and that will get you a decent amount of XP, but it can be a bit variable as well. So next up is Warzone. The most important factor again is the time played. So obviously you want to play longer matches, which is more efficient because you're spending less time in the lobby or loading up the game and more time actually in the game playing, and this gives you more time towards your Battle Pass progression and more progress towards your tier skips. So you want longer matches. The way to do that is obviously most of the moment I like Battle Royale, so you want to be playing in the game longer and not dying. So staying alive as much as you can basically. You obviously need to be doing well in these matches as well, similar to multiplayer, so you want to be earning XP. So how do you do that for Warzone? Well, there's lots of different ways to do it. First of all, you want a good class. So for example, if you need to level up weapons fast to get better attachments, again, feel free to check out my weapon XP guide. You want to be doing more looting. So for example, opening lots of loot crates, because this will give you more money, which helps to buy more equipment. So for example, self-revives, UAV, loadouts, armor or ammo boxes, that kind of thing. But it also gives you more XP overall. And also opening lots of loot boxes, running over bodies of dead enemies, finding piles of cash as floor loot in unsearched areas like on top of roofs or in unsearched rooms, that kind of thing. This can all help give you more money, XP overall as well. You also want to be getting more kills. Have a decent class, use the minimap or heartbeat sensor or compass, or listen out for enemy sounds to find more enemies. Don't run and gun, be very sensible, and kind of you'll get a feel for when something's risky and when you should avoid it versus when you should really run in and try and go for the kill. One of the main things though is make sure you're doing as many contracts as you can. Safecracker and intel contracts are the best, so you want to try to go between them fast with a helicopter or ATV. So Safecracker, you go between 3 different safes and you have to open them. Just obviously don't be near them when they explode because you can take damage from that. These are quite good. They're similar to the scavenger contracts from the previous Warzone. You've also got the intel ones, which is quite similar to the recon contracts. They're quite easy and they give you more XP. So I'd recommend going for the intel ones if possible because you get more XP from them. They can sometimes take a bit longer, so it depends which one you go for. But these are kind of the best ones. They're really good for XP, and just try to get between them as fast as possible with a vehicle like a helicopter or ATV, like I say. Another thing in the game is strongholds. So these are areas with lots of AI for easy XP, but they can be quite tough, but you get good rewards out of it, like ground loot, your full loadout, that kind of thing. This is new to Warzone 2, and only 3 will spawn at any one time, so you want to kind of be going for those if you can, but obviously bring a teammate along. Also, you want to be surviving longer, so you want to be careful, safe, don't run and gun, otherwise doing this will mean you die soon, which is a poor amount of tier progression. So like I say, obviously surviving longer means you place higher in the matches, which is more XP, more time played, and therefore faster progression. The last main thing is the placement bonus. So in the Warzone BR mode, this is how long you survived relative to anyone else, and this is based on things like the time played, you know, how long you survived, also your score, contracts, all that stuff. In Plunder, it's all about the cash you collected as well as the other stuff. So if Plunder comes, that'll be it, but most other modes will be based just on the sort of how long you survive, contracts, XP, that kind of thing. Also, don't forget that in the pre-game lobby, that will get you XP as well, so you can get as many kills as you can, as this counts towards XP and also weapon XP, so definitely make the most of the kills and so on in that pre-game lobby while you're waiting. In terms of what game modes are best in Warzone. Right now, BR variants are the only main types in the game. So you've got, you know, things like BR, duos, trios, quads, all of that. Other versions of that like Mini Royale. With Season 2, there's supposed to be Ashika Island as well, which will launch with, I believe, a resurgence mode. So hopefully that'll be quite similar to Rebirth Island. Hopefully that'll be quite good. I'm sure a lot of people will hop on that. I imagine that'll be quite good. Maybe hopefully other modes like Plunder and Payload will come at some point, either in Season 2 or after that, because they are kind of sorely missed. I feel like they'll be quite good additions to the game. But for now, this is what we've got. And so it's hard to say right now what will be better. But I imagine it's worth trying to hop on Ashika Island. Even though there'll be shorter matches, they might be better. Who knows? I still imagine the long run normal BR will be better though. But I'll update you guys as we move forward. Finally, for Warzone, don't forget as well that you can do challenges. So like obviously you've got your daily challenges, you've also got the camo challenges, and you want to be overlapping them as much as possible. The other thing as well as Battle Royale, we've obviously got DMZ. So this is a new mode to Warzone 2. I think a lot of people really enjoy this mode. It involves like spawning in, looting, doing objectives, killing enemies, that kind of thing, and then exfilling. It has more realism elements built into it, because if you bring your weapon into DMZ and die without exfilling, obviously you lose that weapon and you have to pick it up as floor loot. Obviously you can sort of also bring in like an insured slot, but that doesn't renew for a while. So I think it's a really great way to earn the battle pass tokens faster. When I did a 15-minute game of DMZ where I was kind of just messing about, not focusing on the objective, and I didn't successfully exfil, I got 50% of battle pass token, which would be much higher if I'd successfully exfilled, and therefore equates to over 2 tokens per hour of DMZ gameplay. Also bear in mind that longer matches mean less time not in the game and it's more efficient. So obviously a long game like DMZ will be quite good for that. So in terms of DMZ, what are my tips? Well, first of all, you want to play with other teammates, ideally friends that you can communicate with, as this will really help you do better in the missions in terms of where you can go on the map, surviving, as it can be really tough against the AI. You're going to do a whole lot better if you can communicate with friends, or if not, try and communicate with other randoms, although that can be very difficult. You also want to make sure you just don't run and gun. I know it's so easy to do that. I'm always tempted to do that, especially in Warzone, but in terms of DMZ, you really can't, because it's so easy to just run into tons of AI and they'll just gun you down in a couple of seconds. So play it really, really safe. Even though it's AI, it's still quite tough. Also try to boost the XP earned from each aspect of the game. So the players revived, obviously come across as many people as you can and revive them. Obviously you can sometimes get perks to help you revive faster, that kind of thing. Obviously go behind cover and just go prone when you're trying to revive them. That always helps, because you can get overrun quite easily. Supply drops opened, obviously just search as many buildings as you can and open as many boxes as you can, and that will help as well, boost the amount of XP, you know, money, and also gear you get from the supply drops. AI kills, obviously just get a decent loadout and just move around the map and kill as many people as you can, although don't get super greedy and run in, because obviously like I said, it can be very easy to die. Yeah, loot containers opened, that kind of thing. Points of interest visited, so you get I think at least 250 XP if not more for each point of interest you visit on the map, so it's quite easy just to get in a car and just like drive around, obviously to go to places to get missions done, but at the same time you're getting XP just from literally going from one area to another, so that's definitely worthwhile, and try and boost that part of the XP as well. Definitely want to be doing side missions, so things like capturing UAV towers, capturing missile sites, that kind of thing. They're very easy to do, they don't take long, and it's really easy to do if you've got a couple of teammates. Finally, you want to try and exfil, obviously, because that way you don't lose your gear and your stuff, you'll keep the money, it's beneficial, you can get perk streaks and all this other stuff, but obviously you get lots more XP as well for exfilling. So definitely try and exfil. I think that's one of the most important things. So if you're going to like try and do something else and die or exfil, it's probably better to exfil. I think overall you do better from it. Okay, so that's DMZ. Now let's finally talk about which game modes are best overall. So I think if you're asking which mode are best, obviously it depends on how well you do in each mode. Longer matches are always better than shorter ones normally if you're getting a decent amount of XP. So generally the best modes, it depends on the game. So for Modern Warfare 2, the best ones are ones like Ground War, Shoot House or Shipment, and any other close quarter combat map mosh pits, maybe like Dome, that'll be quite good for Season 2, that kind of thing. Co-op can be okay if you can get through the missions fast, otherwise I'd avoid it, and also it can be kind of boring, but it's probably better if you're not as good at multiplayer. And then for Warzone, it's great. It's probably better than multiplayer right now, I'd say, but in terms of which part of Warzone, obviously BR can be good, provided you get lots of kills, looting, contracts, that kind of thing, and survive longer to get a decent placement bonus. Now Ashika Island will probably be quite good and more enjoyable, but Warzone normal BR will probably be better still, but we'll see. But I think the best thing still at the moment is actually DMZ. I'll let you guys know if that changes, but for now DMZ seems to be one of the best game modes, just because it's really good for leveling up battle pass fast. You get lots of XP towards your or progress towards your battle pass tokens in Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone right now, but obviously it's not for everyone, and therefore there are other modes as well, so it depends. I'd say DMZ is probably first, and then depending on how well you do, BR and Modern Warfare 2 are like the close second in terms of, so like multiplayer or Warzone Battle Royale are probably close second. But yeah, I'd say DMZ is probably the best. But I hope you found that useful. If you guys did, be sure to leave a like so that other people can find the video too. Check out all my recent MW2 and Warzone Season 2 content, like how to level up weapons fast, how to unlock new weapons, all stuff like that. Stay tuned. If you like what you see, lastly, feel free to subscribe by clicking the bell icon to stay up to date with all my latest Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone videos. But thank you so much for watching, hope you found it useful, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.